Well, I'm reminiscing a little bit here as I look at this Continental transmitter that I personally hands-on worked on installing this in 1979, if I remember correctly. And at the time, it was the latest and greatest. And we ran this transmitter up until, I believe it was maybe 1992 or along in there, when we then went to this transmitter, which we installed. And as you can notice, when you compare the size of this one to this one over here, there was a big advantage. Plus, from a power consumption standpoint, I think this transmitter was maybe, probably somewhere on the order of, at the most, 70% efficient, probably more in the 60s, I'm going to guess, from power in to power out. We'd be lucky to hit 60%. Whereas this transmitter that we put in the 80s, or rather early 90s, efficiency here was probably getting up in the order of 83, 84%. Then, after I retired, another transmitter was put in down here. This is all audio equipment here and so on, but this, what looks like an overgrown refrigerator here, it's amazing to think that here we've got a 50,000 watt transmitter compared to this big one over here. And Doug, what's the efficiency of this one? Do you happen to know?
This one's probably on the order of 80% or so.
Think 80?
Yeah, I'm thinking AC power in to out to RF power out. It's probably 80% or something like that. Those of you who are looking at this going, hey, the power is varying, that's because we're using something called modulation dependent carrier level. So the transmitter is not putting out a 50 kilowatt carrier unless someone stops talking, and then it actually does. But that's what you see the power varying for, in case you're wondering about that.
I have a question for you. Which version of the modulation carrier dependent level are you using? Is it the one where when things go quiet, it drops 6 dB?
No, it's the other one. It's the one where things work quiet, it goes up to full power, and it's called, I think Nautel's name for it is AMC.
Okay.
Is it AMC or ACM?
I don't
believe
remember either.
I believe it's AMC. Anyway, this is a wonderful transmitter made from a Canadian company called Nautel, and this is the outstanding device which we all love, and it just keeps purring along. So all of you who listen to KFI are hearing all the energy essentially coming out of this box. Everybody who listens to KFI, no matter where you are, well, via radio that is, picks up a very small, very slight amount of energy that essentially comes out of this box. So
let me add something to this. There were 2 generations of transmitters that have been taken out of the building. They're no longer here for us to see. And one of them was a earlier version of this that went all the way from where that rack starts over there, all the way down to where this stops. And it was deep. It was a big tube type transmitter. That went away. And then before that, there was the original RCA, I think it was called an RCA 50B if I'm not mistaken, that looped all the way around this room. And if you look down here on the floor, you'll notice there's a little different piece of linoleum in here, and it comes around here, goes across, it makes a U shape around here, and that's the floor pattern of that original transmitter, which was a monster and very inefficient. I mean, they were lucky if they got 30% efficiency out of that thing. By the time they ran all the motor generators that were located downstairs, they had to have water pumps to pump water to cool the water-cooled tubes. And the things have changed. I mean, just this incredible to think this whole building was built for that transmitter, and now we got the overgrown refrigerator here.
KFI. Southern California.
KFI. 640, more stimulating talk radio.
KFI.
AM 640.